What's going on, everyone? Paul Donis Maximus here. I've got some exciting news for Krea AI users. I just got early access to this new AI feature, which allows you to train on selfies or objects or even product photos. And I'm going to explain to you what this is, why it's important, and how to actually use it once this rolls out for everyone else. So just this past Thursday, Krea came out with this post. It says, finally, AI trainings arrived to Krea. Train an AI model and teach it about your own characters, styles, products, and more. And what they did was give away 100 early invites to be able to go in and actually use this model to train and start creating Lauras. So again, they released this past Thursday, but I didn't find out about it until actually Friday morning, and that incidentally was the exact same day that I was going to sign up for Krea AI anyway. So I was going to sign up for Krea AI just to try it out. Didn't even know that this was a thing. Then I saw this come through and I was like, man, this is really going to enhance everything when it comes to creating consistent characters for narrative AI filmmaking. Again, think about a character that you create somewhere in Midjourney or in Flux that you want to be able to consistently use in every single scenario. So if you think about something like Naruto is exactly the same in every single episode. The clothing, the facial features, the color of the hair, that's what we're moving to, and that's why this is so important for AI narrative filmmaking. But anyway, I went into Krea and I clicked on the train tab and I just put myself on the wait list because time had already passed and all of the 100 spots were gone. And I just figured I'd use this whenever it rolls out to everyone else. But lo and behold, today on X, I saw that a person that I follow called Heather Cooper, she also had an access code that had 100 spots. And of course, I jumped right on it because again, I'm already signed up for Krea AI. I took that access code, went over to Krea, clicked on the train tab, put in the access code, and was able to get access to this tool. These are some of the generations that I made already, and I'll show you what all of that looks like in just a bit. But again, if you remember in the past, you'd have to use something like Lensa AI, and you'd upload about 10 to 15 to 20 different images, and you'd have to wait almost an hour in order for it to generate a bunch of different selfies of yourself. And those could be something like you in a business suit, like right here, or maybe you're on a beach somewhere, or maybe you're on a boat. In fact, this avatar right here was made with Lensa AI. And this was the earlier iteration where they had all of the cartoon-like looking avatars that would generate. So yes, the actual avatar on my channel that I use and the ones that I use in my thumbnails, and this one right here that I use on X, it actually came from Lensa AI. Now there were some things that changed to where you could actually do this and get better image generations because again, the ones on Lensa AI, they're still a bit cartoonish looking, but in order to get better generations, you had to jump through all of these hoops and use a bunch of different tech. Like there was a tutorial that I was going to follow that I hadn't gotten around to, but you'd have to have a GitHub account, which I did. I had a GitHub account from back in the day. Then you'd have to use Replicate. Then you'd have to follow this guy. I believe his name was Lucas Taco or Luca Taco, and he had a Laura that he created, and then you had to go into that. Then you had to go to Hugging Face and tie those tokens into Replicate. It was a pretty long drawn out process, which is why I hadn't gotten around to actually doing that process. And now it won't have to because Krea AI has come out with something as simple as this that will allow you to take your selfie photos and create Lauras very easily. And again, guys, I own those pair of sunglasses, but I do not own that suit. That's how cool this stuff is. So let me actually take you over to Krea AI and show you what this all looks like. So again, I just signed up for Krea AI on yesterday, and I don't know how long this train tab has been there, but I'm pretty sure it showed up whenever Krea announced this last Thursday on November 7th. Today is November 9th. So this is something that's very, very brand new to this platform. You click here, and again, if you don't have access to this yet, it's just going to ask you to sign up for the wait list. And I'm not going to post Heather's code because probably by the time this video uploads, there will no longer be any spots left. There's very high demand for this feature. So my advice to you would be to jump on X and follow your favorite creator because these guys are pretty much influencers on X. And so these companies are reaching out to them and hooking them up with all of these early access things. And if you're following them and if you're following what they're doing, that's one way to stay up to date on all of this stuff that's going on, and you get hooked up with all of this early access access stuff by doing that. And by the way, you should probably go over to X and follow my page, the AI Filmmaking Advantage. Just saying. But again, once they roll this out to everyone, you will have access, and this is what you're going to want to do. So under this train tab, it says upload 3 or more images of the same style, face, or object. And right here it says generate infinite selfies, product photos, or your own visual style. Krea Train analyzes your images and tries to learn features in a few minutes. Now, the first time I did this, I did it via mobile because I was able to get to the photos that I wanted to use much quicker via my iPhone. I've got albums on there, and whenever you try to select photos on your Mac, for some reason, it doesn't give you the option to go to your folders. It's weird like that. You can only get to your folders if you open the Photos app, which is when you're not trying to upload anything. But I did this from my mobile phone, went to Krea AI, logged in after I had put in the access code via desktop, uploaded my photos, and this is what I got. So let me just show you this right quick. These are some of the photos that I've had over the years, and I just went ahead and used those. So they don't have to be perfect. As you can see, some of these are from when I was uploading to Snapchat and Instagram and things like that. And I've got like other stuff on, like shades and a hoodie and tank tops, things like that. I will say you want to try to get the best photos that you have of yourself, because that's really going to affect the output of what you get from the model itself. And so I uploaded those 15 images. Krea started to train on it. It didn't take long at all. And this is what it output. So that looks like me. That looks like me when I have my goatee. That looks like me. And that looks like me. Now, these look a bit cartoonish. You can kind of tell the texture of the images themselves, but the magic happens when you actually click this button right here where it says use with flux. And what you want to be able to do is you click use with flux. Is going to take those photos that Krea generated and use those as the models to train on different things. Now, I'm still fairly new to Krea AI, and I noticed this. So as you can see right here, this shade is kind of like down. If I think about blinds, right? You can pull this thing all the way down, or you can bring it up. And that's where it was whenever I came to this tab. What I take that to mean is that that's the strength of how much influence those photos will have on the model. I'm actually not sure. I'm just assuming that's what that is, but I'm going to hit the refresh button and I'm going to let it default to where it was. Here is where you would come, you put in a prompt, and then you'd get your selfies. Now, I've already tried this before, and I'm going to show you some of the examples that were output from doing exactly that. So this is the prompt I used: an attractive young male, light skin, natural look, blurred background, natural light, detailed, and a short beard, is wearing a blue suit with an orange tie and blah, blah, blah. The reason it's that detailed is because I took one of those photos that generated from Lensa AI, took it into ChatGPT, told ChatGPT to give me a prompt based on the image, and then I did this. Now, the reason I also had this prompt on hand is because I tried doing this about a month ago. I tried to do something similar like this in Midjourney, and that shit turned out horrible. All of the generations looked nothing like me, and despite all of the Googling, all of the looking at Reddit posts, looking in Discord, I could not find anything that would make Midjourney make me look like me, so I just gave up. Now we've got this, and so I went to Midjourney, took the prompt that I used over there, put it here, and this is what came out. So let's look at this. So this is one, looks like me. Here's another one, looks like me. Now, I don't know why it likes to generate these lapels on these suits, and I'll show you what I did in a minute to remove those. But anyway, here's one that looks like me. Here's another one that looks like me. I don't know why my fingers are doing that, and I definitely don't have a ring. And again, guys, I don't have a suit like this at all, but that looks like me. That looks like me. So this is what is possible now with Krea AI. Training the model on your photos or even characters that you develop elsewhere. So like if you went into Midjourney and you had 3 photos of a consistent character and you wanted it to train on that, then you could bring it over here to Krea and do something like this. Now, these are what they looked like when I did the initial run, and I used a very simple prompt. All I said was walking down a busy city sidewalk with a dark suit on. And again, it's training on those photos that Krea came up with after taking the photos that I uploaded, and here's what they look like. So here's one, looks like me, looks like me, looks like me from the back, looks like me, looks like me, looks like me, and I like this one a lot. That one looks like me, that one looks like me. So again, as you can see, this is what you'll be able to do very soon. I think this is going to be amazing for people who are actually actors, because think about it. You can make consistent characters of yourself doing any and everything. You can take those into someplace like Kling AI or Runway ML and use the lip syncing feature. And now you've got a character for all of your skits, all of your films, all of that. Some of you may be thinking, well, if they're an actor, why would they need to do something like this. Well, think about it. If you're an actress and you don't want to try to find this costume right here, then all you would do is use AI to put yourself in a costume like this. That's where we're going with this. And again, I don't even know if you could actually find something like this, because again, this is AI generated. You could probably have someone make this for you, but how much money would that cost? How easy would it be to actually have yourself in this actual suit and never leave your house? Now, I do want to show you something else, because whenever I tried to enhance this in Krea AI, that's when it started making me look completely different. So I actually took the photos that you saw on X into FreePic, upscaled them there, and they came out looking a lot better. But let me just show you what I mean. So I'm going to take this image right here, and it was on 2x upscaling. And again, I didn't mess with any of the other settings or anything like that. The strength is this, resemble, clarity, all of that stuff. I didn't do anything, didn't change anything, but I want you to see how distorted it ends up looking. So as you can see, this generates someone who doesn't look like me at all. So whatever reason, it basically comes up with a completely different person. And again, I'm fairly new to Krea AI, so maybe I bump up the resemblance and it does something. Maybe I bump down the strength and the clarity. I don't know yet, because again, I've not really played with the enhance feature over here that much, other than in the other video where you saw where I took a video and tried to enhance it from cling, and the cling video was already good, so it really didn't improve it whatsoever. It actually made it look a little bit worse. So this is something I still have to get my head around in terms of how this works. But let me show you what this looks like in FreePic, and we're also going to remove that lapel right there. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image right here and I'm going to download it, and we're going to go over to FreePic. And as you can kind of see already what I talked about, this is where I brought it in here and I removed the lapel and things like that. But I'm going to show you how I did this from the top. So I'm going to bring in that image. I've now got it uploaded into FreePic, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to click on retouch, and I've got my brush size at 20, and I'm just going to kind of dot over this thing. I think that's perfect. I'm going to hit retouch. You don't want to add anything into that box, because if you leave it empty, that's how you remove stuff. It even says describe your selection, leave empty to remove. So we're going to click retouch, and if you hover over these images, it shows what it's going to look like once you actually remove it. And as you can see right here, this one makes it to where, like, if I click right here, you kind of see the little residue right there of that dot, but I'm actually going to select that one that leaves that residue, because we're actually going to remove that once it gets upscaled. So I'm going to click use image. As you can see right there, that still has that little small ring, almost looks like a wet spot, but that's where we removed that lapel. And what we're going to do now is we're going to click on upscale. I'm going to do none, because I want the image to remain as close to this original image as possible. And I'm going to do 2K first, just so you see what that looks like. So I'm going to click upscale, and I'm going to hover over this. And as you can see, actually that ring still looks like it's hiding out right there. But this is what it looks like when you upscale it. Very subtle. It looks exactly the same. Let's see what happens when I do 4K. So I'm going to upscale it. This is a 4K upscale, and that ring mostly disappears. Like, you have to really be looking. Like, honestly, I don't even see the ring anymore. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. Let's see if we can do the before and after. Kind of ring, not kind of ring, not. If you saw how that looked. So again, kind of a ring right here, and then the ring is gone. And again, this is 2K upscale, 4K upscale. So there's really not much of a difference. The beard looks a bit fuller. You can kind of see that. So the hair was kind of thin there, but then it kind of fills out. Let me see about the watch. And the watch, it's kind of a little bit more shiny. But again, that's what a 4K upscale looks like in FreePic. Now, where things start to go sideways is when you start to add something like subtle and vivid and wild. I'll just show you that real quick. So we're going to go to subtle, and you can only do 2K upscales when you're adding imagination to these. That's what they call them. So they say we currently support 4K with imagination none. So again, if this was none, then you could use 4K, which we already did. But I just want to show you what a subtle upscale looks like on a photo that already looks like you. It's probably going to make me look like a completely different person. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, that doesn't look like me. You know, maybe, kind of, sort of. A brother from another mother. I mean, but you know, that ain't me. But that's what happens when you start getting into the subtle and the vivid and the wild realm. That's perfect for images that you just generate, that you want to look better. For instance, this was something I generated yesterday, and this right here is a subtle upscale, but whenever I went wild, I believe this was wild. Yes, it gave her more human-like features, which I liked. And if we kind of do a before, well, this this was vivid right here and then wild. So if we do something like, well, it's not going to do it side by side. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really going to let me do it side by side, but as you can see, there are some use cases for that when you're doing it on anything other than yourself. And again, as for Krea, I'm going to have to play around with those features to really get an idea of how it actually works, so that when I'm upscaling over there or enhancing over there, it stays looking as close to what I look like as possible, because otherwise I'm going to have to keep downloading the photos from over there and bringing them into my tried and true at the moment. I use it more than Midjourney, but I'd have to bring it in over to FreePic and then upscale here. And I just want to show you one more other example where it again goes off the rails. This was a subtle upscale, and again, that doesn't look like me at all, but again, we'll just have to figure all of that out. So once again, just wanted to share with you this cool new feature that I have early beta access to. I'm fairly certain it's going to be rolling out to everyone else pretty soon. I don't know when, but your best bet is to go follow Krea AI over on X, because they're shipping a lot of features very fast. And if you catch them when they're shipping out something new and they're giving early beta access, you'd be the first one to jump on some of those, even before myself maybe. So once again, hopefully you guys are excited about this feature. Let me know your thoughts in the comment below this video. And be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so that you'll be the first to know more about more AI filmmaking news such as this. So once again, my name is Paul Adonis Maximus. Thanks for checking out this video. Please join me in the next one.